And let's begin. This is the Ironicist muttering into the endless void of the internet with a little bit of bonus content for my Thanos kills half of Los Santos video series, which has tragically come to an end in the face of the endless mourning of the internet, I have no doubt. So this is just a little extra pack, dragons, drones, and deleted scenes. There's a couple of things in here. Firstly, you'll note I'm using a different Thanos skin. There was a request from one of the commenters, I think that's more appropriate, to use the Guardians of the Galaxy full armor Thanos. It's not quite as good a model as the other one, but it is nice to see Thanos dressed for the occasion. I have to admit, I did kind of wonder in Infinity War, yes, it's time to finally do my evil plan, face off against the Avengers. Let me quickly take off all my armor so they have a sporting chance. Whereas when I'm sitting on my chair back in Guardians of the Galaxy, yeah, gotta have that armor in case I fall off the chair and it hurts. But anyway, armored Thanos, check him out. So the deleted content will come to a little bit later, or the deleted scenes. So there's actually a couple of things there. The first is some stuff I did actually record for my main video, the various superheroes facing off against Thanos, and then I just kind of forgot to splice it in. In my defense, it was about an hour and 49 minutes, or whatever it is, worth of video, and, well, that's quite a lot of splicing, and I've got to say, when I got to the end, I actually couldn't make myself watch it all the way through to make sure I hadn't missed anything. I discovered something I'd never known before, which is that it was possible to become sick of the sound of my own voice. So I missed a little bit or two, which I'm now cunningly adding as a bonus feature for you loyal viewers. But besides that, there were some things which didn't really tie into my main theme, but which are mods of Julio's, which are fun enough that I thought, why not, let's Thanos at them. And the first one is, of course, holy shit, there's dragons. Well, there should be dragons. I can see little flamey things. There are dragons are definitely around. All tiny mobile fires. Let's slow things down a bit and see if oh yeah, there we go. Teeny tiny dragon. Oh, it's adorable! I just drained its life and it's dead. That's a puppy dragon. You know how they do kind of kick the dog moments for villains? This is kick the puppy dragon, admittedly. Oh, there's another one. And liquefy. Liquefy. Is he out of range? You're a lucky puppy dragon. Lucky puppy dragon. Okay, apparently dragons don't liquefy very well. That's unsporting. Also, that something's gonna be okay, that's just not working. Maybe. These dragons have more health than I expected. Also, I think the wings are pretty much entirely for show. Oh! I don't know why it's a helicopter. Oh, finally! Seriously? Finally? Nope, it's... Holy crap, the dragon's still alive. Interestingly, this mod actually replaces, I think it's a seagull with a dragon, so I'm really not going to go to the beach, because it's probably quite a murderous place to be. Okay. There's some kind of weird post-rock effect. Oh, I feel sorry for you, military helicopter. You were ill-equipped for this. Don't worry. Thanos is here. You'll need it. Or evaporate, as the case may be. Also, I disabled thermal vision. Sorry, that's another mod I've got going, which is triggered every time Thanos is helping. Get out of the way. Thanos will save the city. You are not needed. This is after Thanos has achieved his nefarious goal and has retired to a grateful universe. Right, the dragon is not the dragon. Okay, I think the Titans have so much health, they're not really transmuting very well. At least that does. Let's see if the big snap resolves. Okay, I don't want to snap to kill everybody. I want to try and just get you, sir. Well, that worked. That worked pretty well. Let's see. And it's interesting, the Buddha, I think I might yes, I think that's a very Thanos way to solve the problem. Don't worry, humanity, I've saved... Nope, wait, I've killed everybody on this street. Awkward. I was trying to rescue you. I quite like the... I like the little disintegrating cloud thing that's going on there, but it is entertaining to see that the animation just clearly completely spazzes out. This is quite an older mod of Julio's, and oddly enough, I don't think when he designed it he was thinking, I wonder how this model will respond to a purple titan disintegrating it. One of the disadvantages with using Thanos is he doesn't fly, and flying is kind of important when hunting down, you know, dragons. I mean, I could just finger snap my way to victory. Have I frozen? Have I broken all the things? This is not a good sign. Oh, Thanos. I believe we are having a technical difficulty. Please, take a moment, look elsewhere, look at a cat video or something, we'll be right back. And let's resume. So the question I'm sure on all of your minds is, what the hell is up with that car? Well, the simple answer is that I was trying to spawn one of the unusual vehicles from a trailer and I clicked on the wrong button and picked up the, speakers up car, which... I don't even know why this exists. I honestly... Someone spent time making this, and I have to ask them deep down, was it worth it? But let me get out of the car. Also, for some reason, I have a pilot's helmet on. Yeah, I don't know what happened there. I'm going to put it down to mod trainers. The reason what I was trying to spawn something was because we've seen thus far the only person who's actually defeated Thanos was David Haller, a mutant. And I thought it was time to give Dad a try, Professor Xavier himself. And what I was actually trying to spawn was a wheelchair. So let's try this again, and this time I will click on the right button. Now, you may ask why his wheelchair is embedded slightly in the ground. You may ask why he's holding his hands in front of him like that. You may ask why his wheelchair apparently has a pretty mean acceleration. The answer to all of those questions is, shut up. Unfortunately, this is the best I can get for a Professor Charles Xavier wheelchair. So we're going to have to live with it. And from behind, as long as you don't drive too fast and are deep in denial, I suppose it works. So the mod that I'm pairing, as though it were a fine wine, with Charles, or Charlie if you prefer, is the Mind Control mod. And this, like David really, is going to be one of those really quick Thanos fights. Either he's going to win, or he's going to die in a single shot. So the Mind Control mod has a whole bunch of cool things it can do, different functions, but by far the niftiest, that isn't actually relevant for this demonstration, but I've just got to show you just because it's so cool, is Mind Control. Yep, you can literally just walk around and you walk up to someone and you hit a button and oh look, you're them. You have controlled their mind. And then of course I go back to Professor Xavier, who is now hanging in mid-air because that wheelchair mod is so screwed. And I'm back in my invisible wheelchair. I'm just going to reload that because as bad as the invisible wheelchair is, it's not quite as immersion breaking as Charles Xavier just kind of hanging there. Actually, let me try the bumper car. That feels a bit like his big old sort of super sci-fi hover chair thing he used to have in the cartoons. I will justify that this is exactly what it's supposed to be. There are a bunch of other things that you can do, all generally revolving around manipulating the minds of pedestrians. For example, you can knock out anybody driving a vehicle, like this. I don't know why it's only people who drive cars that go to sleep, but it is. You can also just make people scared. Okay, there was a weird glitch there. If you look over there, you see all those guys who are sort of hunkering down, like they've suddenly got all weak at the knees. That's me scaring them with my mind. There are also some things which are a little less psychic-y. Yeah, I don't know how I made all these cars explode with my telepathic powers, but I did, okay? Anyway, that won't be very much used against Thanos, but there's a nice range of things. And what's cool is the mind control power. If you are being chased by the police and you swap bodies, they stop chasing you. So you can, in fact, commit a bunch of horrible crimes and then just possess the nearest person. And, well, leave them to their fate. Well, your unwitting previous accomplice. Quite a lot like the movie Fallen, actually, with Denzel Washington. If anybody still remembers that. Ta is on my side. Yes, it is. A great song made deeply, deeply creepy by that movie. The last thing I can do, which I will demonstrate, with terminal effect, the second last thing I can do, which has less terminal effect, is I can make pedestrians ragdoll. Like so. See, they're juddering. You can hear, and there's all these little grunting things of discomfort. Because basically, Charles is using his psychic powers to paralyze their muscles and cause them to spasm. If someone is running and you ragdoll them, they'll fall over. So it's also quite useful if you're in a sort of a chaotic situation and suddenly everybody drops to the ground. And as long as you hold the button down, check it out, wheelchair donut! Anyway, as long as you, Professor Xavier's Land Fun 2, hold that button down, no one near you can move or really do much of anything. The only thing is that obviously after a while that noise, that sort of noise can get on your nerves, thus your finger gets tired. Psychic control is exhausting, it should be tiring. The other thing that I said I was going to show is, of course, you can just kill people. That was the sound of everybody within a certain radius of me just dying. Oh, there we go. Just if you didn't get a good look at it, goodbye. So, really, whether or not Professor Xavier beats Thanos depends on whether or not Thanos is resistant to psychic attack. Because if he isn't, I can kill him with a single button. And if he is, well, this wheelchair's gonna be really messy really quickly. So, preparing to bring up Thanos. I'm going to already preemptively be holding down the ragdoll key. But there's no point even pretending like this can be a fair fight. That's not a good sign. The ragdoll doesn't seem to be working on him. And neither did that. What happened? Did he die? He just sort of... Okay, I'm sorry. So, oh my god, he can walk! He was faking all along for the insurance! Thanos seems to have vanished. Did I just kill Thanos with my mind? I honestly don't know. Let's just try that again. Thanos, yes please. Spawn Thanos enemy. Thanos hide up big. I'm definitely causing him pain, yes. And then he just kind of splutters out of existence.
This is so touching.
Yeah, so it appears that so far in this battle of Thanos killing, the X-Men in one form or another have it hands down. I like your car, I want to be you. And as I drive away, having committed grand theft, body and auto, I think we can definitely say Xavier and his son are in the lead as far as effortless Thanos kills go. Though, to be honest, it is so sort of one-sided, it's hardly a dramatic clash of titans. Still, gotta give them the credit, a technical victory. And let's resume. So here we have Thanos, ready and regal, and it's snowing. Why is it snowing? Why the hell not? Now, this snowing effect isn't actually supposed to work in Los Santos. It's from the North Yankton intro mission, which is why there's this great big blizzard and no snow settling on the floor at all. But I don't care. It's a cool environmental effect, and yeah, it's looking like a white Thanos murder spree. Well, in fact, this is more about Thanos post-Infinity War retiring as an extremely enthusiastic, collateral damage heavy superhero. We've already seen him defend the city of Los Santos from dragons and a bunch of pedestrians who were unlucky enough to be nearby at the time. Now, what other threat could possibly face him? Well, the problem is, the threat was going to be another one of Julio's mods, the Oblivion Drones mod, named for the Tom Cruise movie Oblivion, where they were sort of white, globy things with guns. You may or may not have seen the movie. If you haven't, take my word for it, don't watch it, it's not worth your time. If you're a big Tom Cruise fan, I don't care, really. Anyway, I found Oblivion a pretty forgettable movie, but the drones were kind of cool. And Julio made a variant on the whole dragon mod with a similar basic principle. You could have a drone invasion. What just happened? I think I did a crime. I think I was walking around and somehow crime happened. I'm not very good at being a superhero, clearly. Up and away! No, that was just up in exactly the same place. Up and away! I'm trying to get on top of this building, but I'm just really bad at this. This superheroing is harder than it looks. Batman made it look so easy. Okay, there we go, I'm on a roof, and of course a nice discreet explosion, two explosions and a fire. The police will never find me. While I wait for the forces of justice to retreat, like I said, I was going to do the Oblivion Drones mod. Unfortunately, I think because it's very old, the Oblivion model causes my GTA to crash out so badly I can't even load. So I was forced to come up with a new plan. And the thing was, I was really sold on this whole dragons, drones and deleted scenes alliteration. So I decided if I couldn't do the Oblivion drone, I would do a different kind of drone. So without any further ado, allow me to introduce... Nothing. Is it working? Oh, yeah, I see something. Things are happening. Little dots, but what could these little dots be? What sort of drone-like creatures could they be? There is some kind of robot. Oh, it evaporated. And sparkled away. Sort of My Little Pony death out of existence. Let's try and get a bit closer and get a look at one of them. You may recognize, fresh from Avengers 2 and the destruction of Joss Whedon's hopes and dreams, Ultron's drones from the big finale scene. This is actually, as you will have seen, the Alien Invasion mod. But what's quite cool is you can replace the aliens with basically just about anything that might plausibly invade Los Santos. In this case, killer robots armed with railguns. But not to worry, Thanos is here to help. Help it. Oh, so... I meant to do that. That was a car belonging to a collaborator. I can tell the military doesn't believe me because they're busy shooting me too. Clearly they haven't got the memo that Thanos is a good guy. possibly neither has Thanos. You dare shoot your petty little guns at me? Right, back to being heroic. Oh look, a tank. Liquefy. Okay, yep, looking at the death counter in the top there, I have killed quite a lot more of the innocent citizens and army of Los Santos than I have actual killer robots. Let's try this again. Oh, it kind of sparkled away. You see what happens is the invaders basically teleport in and then sort of teleport out as they are killed off, which is quite a cool little effect. And no matter where you go, you will find more and more. I'll save you, citizen, of these creatures. Yes, he's still alive. I can still find him. Yay! See? I saved them. Oh, hang on. Oh, I saved the citizen very briefly, and then another robot comes. So, you may remember the Ultron drones from the end of Avengers 2 and from Ultron's evil plan that made no sense, where he was, I don't know, gonna meteor the world to death with a small country. But I guess, speaking of meteor, let's make it feel like a proper Avengers 2 finale. There's that meteor. Oh, there's that meteor. I didn't actually get a good look at it falling out of the sky. Let me just aim it at... I'm kind of aiming it at my own allies, aren't I? Come on down. Oh, wow. I think that meteor just... Did it embed in the building? Oh no, it's caught in a... Okay, that's a bit improbable, guys. I mean, that's one seriously tough tree. It's caught the entire meteor. That's... I'm gonna go out on a limb and say that tree's artificial. But then again, this is Los Santos. Why would we be surprised? Hey, robot! Prepare to have a meteor! You might say this is overkill. I say it's just enough. Yes! Proportionate response. Also, somehow I've unlocked an actor called Jane. I don't know why dropping a giant rock on a robot caused that to happen. I don't know, I'm finding it weirdly satisfying to just throw single meteors on single robots. I don't know where the meteor went there. Oh, I'm kind of swimming in the air, flailing hair. Something, grow a pair. I'm running out of things to rhyme here. Anyway, so this is Thanos versus the drones. At this point, the casualty rate is 64 humans to 37 alien invaders. I'm not very good at this. Well, when in doubt, kill everything. Yay, problem solved. Remember, if there are no living things within line of sight, that's because I've saved everybody. Oh, I feel a bit bad for that plane. Damn it, they're spawning even faster than I can blink them out of existence. This is exhausting. I mean, Thanos is all about sort of global population reduction, but these little buggers just keep reappearing. I will admit that that sort of sound doesn't get old. Well, maybe it gets very slightly old, but it hasn't yet. They look all puzzled. They were like, I don't understand why I'm disintegrating. Pretty much kind of like everybody in the movie. Anyway, that was Thanos versus a whole bunch of drones and a bunch of civilians and a bunch of soldiers, all of whom were unlucky enough to get in the way of him heroing. And let's resume. So, subbing in for the plains of Wakanda, we have the outer skirts of Los Santos and this rather big Chumash wind farm. Because I figure Wakanda, you know, they're forward-thinking, environmentally conscious, plus it seemed like a cool place to have a fight. So, This skin here is obviously the Black Panther, but there is no Black Panther mod at this point. I believe Julio has spoken about making one, but in the meantime I am simulating it through two different mods. The first is the Wolverine mod, which allows me to have claws, like so. I don't know where a knife appeared in my hand there. Why does it keep drawing a knife? It didn't used to do that. Hang on a second. Let me just respawn the skin. There we go. There we go. The claws are now working as they should. And I just need to reload the second part of this simulated Black Panther experience, which is the Crisis 2 nanosuit. So the reason why I've picked that is firstly because bullets will still spark off my armor in quite a cool way, as if it's vibranium. And the second thing is that it has two powers, both of which seemed pretty, well, in fact a number of powers, all of which seemed pretty appropriate given the recent Black Panther movie. Accelerated sprint to allow for the fact that he's been enhanced by some weird purple flower thing that I can't even remember the bad science. The ability to jump, and also the ability to do an air stop, like so, to show him releasing the stored kinetic energy in his suit. He can also cloak, which seems very Wakandan, and he can activate armor mode.
Maximum armor.
Now the armor mode will only persist as long as he has energy, which gets drained as he's attacked, so it is in fact the exact opposite of how it works in the movie, where the more he's attacked, the more energy his suit gets. But well, that's life. This is what we can do with what we have available to us at the moment. Also, the last proviso is to note that the Wolverine mod comes with voice files attached, so you will occasionally hear an angry roar from Hugh Jackman, as if he just read another critic's review of The Greatest Show. So, I just want to see if I can get down to somewhere where there might conceivably be cars. That's fantastic. So I can show you how the Wolverine claws work. I have a suspicion Thanos may not stand still enough for me to use them. There we go, there's a human, a nice fragile human. Hello! Yeah, that's messy. He didn't deserve that. Maybe he did. What was he doing in here? He was selling or buying watermelons. Watermelon crime. Suffice to say that for whatever reason, King T'Challa has just outlawed the sale of watermelons in Wakanda. Makes sense, I guess? So, let's get back up to our sustainable Wakandan, oh dear, drained energy there, wind farm. And before I summon Thanos, a last comment would be, you might wonder why I have deferred Black Panther to a little bit later, given I have had some more powerful characters already try their luck against Thanos. There are two reasons. The first is a purely practical one. The Crisis Nanosuit mod has in the past surprised me with the amount of damage it can sustain and deal with that air stomp attack, so I think he does actually have a better chance than Captain America. Plus, obviously, in this fight location, he can't immediately throw himself to his death. The second reason is a purely sentimental one. Because despite my accent, I'm actually currently resident in South Africa, and it is, well, it was just a great experience to see Black Panther in Africa, where it's so much, you see superheroes in New York, everything's in freaking New York. So to have an awesome African hero with this crazy futuristic city that is still very much African and familiar was really cool. It's actually the second time that something like that has happened, because in Avengers 2, the big Hulkbuster fight, actually takes place in the South African city of Johannesburg. And of course, the villain Ulysses Claw, who, for the record, is awesome, horrible person, but awesome, is also South African. So there's quite a heavy SA presence in the Marvel Universe, I'm pleased to say. Go Team Us. Besides the fact that I know that scene in Avengers 2 was shot in Johannesburg, the other way you can tell is that there is a particular scene in which the Hulk shakes a car in which a woman is sitting, and she shrieks and generally freaks out. For reasons that will be immediately apparent to anybody who's actually been to South Africa, and utterly inexplicable to anybody outside it, just based on her hair alone, she comes across as the most obviously South African woman I've seen in a while. Anyway, now that I've finished my little bit of reminiscing with a sideline of racial stereotyping, it's time for Thanos. Sounds like a particularly bad game show, doesn't it? It's time for Thanos! I'm going to activate slow-mo because we all know what's going to happen. He's going to spawn and shoot me in the face. I'm not quite as slow as I was for the Ghost Rider. That was... Oh, there's the first shot. It was a little too slow, sort of a still life. Oh boy. I've already had all my air drained. And apparently Steel Life can shoot through... what's her name? Through windmills. Who knew a windmill was not a good form of cover against cosmic power? Okay. Turn invisible! I'm not here! Oh, he can see invisible. Of freaking course he can. Okay, let's just see, maybe. Oh, that works. I'm doing not badly, actually. With just this whole brute forcing attack. Or possibly brute forcing, I don't know. You might not be able to hear what I'm saying over the sound of meteors being used repeatedly. Possible note to Julio: meteors are awesome, but maybe shouldn't be Thanos' favourite attack of all time. How critical that is. Thank you for that. I hadn't noticed. Oh, what happened there? Gut him! Come on, you've got claws. Gut the bugger! I keep sort of slightly overshooting him. The problem is I don't really dare stand too still to him because, you know, he's freaking Thanos. See what I mean? The vibranium armor does actually stand up pretty well to the big T. I've got to get out of here. I need a bit of space. It's not you, Thanos. It's me. I just need some distance. Alright, so... as I predicted, T'Challa hasn't done badly at all, all things considered. Oh, come on. This is going to be the last moment. I'm very low on health. The question is just, oh, no, I couldn't do enough damage. Despite my best intentions. So, I think in much like I have with other characters who've done a pretty good showing against Thanos, I'm not going to give T'Challa a second bite at the apple. The fact of the matter was nothing went particularly wrong there. He did everything the way he could and would, and he just wasn't dealing enough damage against Thanos to take him down. But I'm sure Franklin, in a sweater vest, will do it. But we're hearing the claw sound effects. Angry Hugh Jackman. Angry Hugh Jackman is angry. Let's take Thanos out of the equation, because We've seen Thanos kill Franklin enough, frankly. No pun intended. Bye! Goodbye now. There we go. Alright, so we will leave a couple of a couple of meteors embedded into the local medical clinic and move on. And aren't you glad you stayed till after the credits? Last but not least, a mod that I was reminded that I hadn't used at all. The Green Goblin mod. Another Julio mod. We can see it's the Green Goblin from the original Tobey Maguire Spider-Man. There is also a Green Goblin, the one from Amazing Spider-Man 2. I don't know what to call him. Tiny whiny Goblin. But while this costume is a bit silly, Willem Dafoe is just way creepier than whatever that guy's name was who played Osborn's kid. So, let's see. Various heroes have tried their best against Thanos. Let's see how a good old-fashioned villain does. Of course, we start off on a bridge where I'm sure Norman has just finished dropping some unnecessary love interest off into the ocean. Now she's done being fridged off a bridge. Time for Normie to get back into some quality evil. Eviling. It's quite a good mod. It's got a bunch of different weapons here. You can throw disintegrating bombs. Oh no, disintegration. Hey, that's a crime. Norman's fighting crime. Probably because they weren't didn't get a proper Norman Osborn crime approval before committing these crimes. Carpet bombs! Okay, that's less crime fighting, that's just killing a bunch of people as you can. But yes, they have a really awesome sort of array of weapons. Machine guns! I'm lucky to be a policeman in Los Santos right now. Regular public bombs. So many options. Slicer. There's a oh yes, that's right. You can do these sort of little buzzy, spinny things and then sort of fly around, make sure no one gets too close or puts a mark on your outfit. Burst bombs. There's those super bombs. Yes. But alright, it's time for the relatively minor, honestly, evil Osborn to face off against the ultimate evil of Big Daddy T. Guys, if you think of your problems now, just wait about 3 seconds. Oh, hello. Thanos! Jumping around. Alright, that's unfortunate. I threw bombs at him, he threw a meteor at me. Is that fair? Way to escalate. Just Thanos. Let's see if we can do a slightly less curved swampy version of that battle. I always have two minds about Norman Osborn. I think he's a really cool villain, like the character is a cool villain, but the actual Green Goblin bit is always a bit hard to take seriously. Okay, there we go. Let's try this again. Yeah, I mean, you know, as Norman Osborn, he's this crazy billionaire with an obsession with Spider-Man, and then he dresses up like this. And I mean, bear in mind, this is the movie's sort of more realistic version of the costume. The comic book is even more fashion flashy. It just, I don't know. I find Normie far more scary when he's not actually being an outright cackling sin. supervillain. Like he was suitably interesting in the what's it called? Dark Avengers. There was a period when he was in charge of basically his own version of S.H.I.E.L.D. It's a bit like when Lex Luthor became president, and it was entertainingly creepy. You know, he dressed up in Iron Man armor. He tried not to go completely insane while simultaneously pursuing his own goals. Well, it made you feel for the life of a murderous psychotic. Speaking of murderous psychotic, where's Thanos? Okay, here's hoping this next bit goes better than this other bit went. Oh boy, oh boy, oh boy. That poster just shot at me. Or possibly Thanos. Height on it. I've lost track of Thanos. There's Thanos. Also, are there two Thanoses? I can see another one with a big red glowy thing. I really hope there aren't two Thanoses, because that would be... well, that would be exactly twice as bad as one Thanos. Oh dear. Thanos is definitely making his presence known. In doubt, carpet bomb him like he's an oil-wealthy country in a George W. Bush presidency. Is that joke dated? It can't be that dated, I mean. Deadpool 2 made George W. joke. Oh dear. Okay, it's official. Normie, you're just not doing it. I'm sorry, you didn't make the cut. So, on that abysmal failure, though I still find it rather hard to feel sorry for Norman Osborn, we draw this to a close. Thank you very much for watching. Don't forget to like and subscribe. The Ironicist will return, though Norman Osborn possibly won't. Thank you all. Good night.